Okay, lovies, Leslie with Parenting Pause back this week to go a little bit deeper into the topic of healthy personal boundaries and emotional blackmail. That's what I call it when I'm not willing to set a healthy personal boundary with my daughter. And so then I kind of emotionally blackmail her through shaming or blaming or whatever I do to bind her to try to get her to take care of me. Now, how that happens is let's go back to the example that I used. I think it was last week when I text my daughter and she didn't text me back. Now, if I come to the conclusion that that means I'm not lovable or she doesn't care for me or she's rude or mean or selfish, any of those conclusions, I can make them about her, or I can make those conclusions about me, that I'm not important and I don't matter. One of the ways I'm going to try to get her to take care of me is by binding her and shaming her. Like, well, I sent you to Japan and I paid all this money and I did all of these things, and the least that I could expect is a text from you. And you need to, and you need to, and you need to. So I can really put all of my attention and my focus outside and blame her for me coming to that conclusion inside that I don't feel important. Now, the healthy personal boundary, we've talked about it in Pure Joy, is what's okay with me and what's not okay with me about how I treat myself, not about how my daughter treats me. Because in this example, she's not treating me anyway. She's just not answering my text. That's reality. But I start treating myself as if I don't matter, as if I'm not important. That's what I begin to do in my conclusions inside. And then therefore, I project those outside onto her as if she's actually doing those to me. Now, take this in, because this one's so vital for us to get. When we have conclusions inside about the external, about reality, about our children's behavior, and then we turn our focus inside into beating ourselves up or claiming that we're not important, we don't matter, we're a servant, whatever we do on the inside, then we're going to project out into our children that they're actually doing that. So of course you're going to want to bind them. You need to stop that, or you can't call me that name, or you can't hit, or whatever it is that we project out onto them, that they are in some way threatening us. Now, I know this is tricky, but the actual threat is your conclusion about yourself. And to not make that conclusion, it's going to require that you set a healthy personal boundary. So why would I believe that conclusion that I'm not important just because my daughter doesn't text me back? Think about it. Right? That would just be coming to an early conclusion that I had and then getting all emotional about it, then blaming my daughter for me feeling that way and getting into a big drama story and going after her. Instead, what I've learned to do over and over and over is to recognize as that's coming up, offer kindness to it. I go to my safe seat. I offer kindness to that conclusion. And yet I recognize that it's not reality. And I choose to parent in reality. That's the coolest part about Pure Joy. I get to parent into what's actually happening, which is my daughter didn't text back. So in reality, when I come to my adult, I can get curious about that. I can ask her why she didn't text back. I can, just wait until she texts me. There's so many things that I can do when I keep it on the reality level. And then I don't have to engage her with my story. I can set my healthy personal boundary. Then I can actually express my needs with her. Sweetheart, it'd be so great when I text you if you just text me back so I know that you're okay. Very different than if you don't text me back, I'm going to take away this, or I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to support you. And you know better than that. And why aren't you texting me back? Feel the difference? Very different. And yet, setting those healthy personal boundaries can be very, very challenging because we weren't supported to do that as children. You may have to feel a little mean, a little rude, a little cold when you set your healthy boundaries. You may have to feel selfish, abandoning, rejecting of your child. And yet, in my experience, if I don't set that boundary by not believing what I'm telling myself, I am going to project that dramatic story onto my daughter, pull her into my whole piece there, and blame her, shame her, and bottom line, ask her to take care of me instead of taking care of myself. All right, lovies, so happy that you're here with me in Parenting Pause. Just make sure you check out the website. Get your copy of The Safe Seat. We've got a new PDF coming on how to set healthy personal boundaries. That's going to be up soon for you. And we're getting ready to do our 5th, I believe, Pure Joy Parent Coach Training. So if you have any interest in showing up as a parent coach in the world, supporting other parents in Pure Joy, check out our website. You can go to it, purejoyparenting.com, and click on the thing that says Become a Coach. All right, lovies, have a great one. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.